Hello everyone, welcome back to my Let's Play of Zelda Outlands, a hack of the initial Legend of Zelda game. Here we are in level 7, and one thing you want to do before we kind of head into this dungeon is you want to have at least 150 rupees, like level 7 in the base game. There's going to be an option to pick up another bomb bag upgrade. It'll be the final one in this hack, so we'll get up to 24 bombs. This hack has 4 bomb bag upgrades, unlike the original game, which just had 2. So we want to have at least 100 for that, and the other 50 will go toward, we get the money or your life. Although the text is a little different in this one. It's Princess Zelda basically saying that she's being controlled. But the gimmick is the same. You either pay 1 heart container and lose it permanently, or you pay Zelda 50 rupees, and they're usually in rooms where you're kind of locked in. You step in the room and you're locked. You're forced to make that choice. So we got some fairies here. Fill up our life. So mainly going to be dealing with a bunch of Gorias in this dungeon, but they're not too much of a problem, especially compared to the Wizrobe in the final dungeon. And Gorias will be taking 2 hits, the blue variety, and the orange ones we can take out with just 1 hit. So, yeah, not a difficult enemy to deal with. So, a lot of bombable walls in this dungeon too. So yeah, it is really a nice throwback to level 7 in the original Zelda game. Although we didn't have to use the whistle to evaporate a lake. Although we did have to use the whistle to get to that the initial one-way. So we saw these bombs appear when we defeated all the Gorias, so let's go pick them up. It's not really all that necessary to pick up those bombs because every time you buy a bomb bag upgrade, it automatically refills all your bombs. So we'll be using a lot of bombs. This is where we're going to get to see the game creator's love of the Dodongo enemies, the enemies that can only be defeated by feeding them bombs. There's our map, but we can't get it. We're going to have to approach it from the top. So, and we'll pick it up a little later in the dungeon when we go to get the dungeon item. That's when we're going to see the dungeon thing. And there's my dog barking, growling. He's growling at my rats. So, next you must search the dark maze of ice. That's the frozen path that we kind of searched a little bit when we were going to the Graveyard of Serenity. Level 5. We'll just be exploring it a little more in depth. We already kind of searched the southern part and the eastern part when we were going to level 5. We searched the western section when I just showed off that area where there were the Garuda who stole your money and the waterfall. There was a medicine person. So we're going to mainly be searching the northern part. So there's some more bombs if you've been using bombs. Yeah, my dogs. Uh-oh. Need some meat here. So let's give this guy some meat. We only need the meat to get up to the top there. That's going to be the direction we want to go to end up getting the fairy. But even if you don't have the meat, you can always just leave this dungeon, come back. We can still do a lot in the dungeon without the meat. So as you saw, we have the left and the right. This right way, I believe, is going to take us to the dungeon item, and the left takes us toward the area where the bomb bag upgrade is. So these guys, we can, just like in the base game, we can feed them a bomb, and while they're eating the first bomb, lay another bomb down, and that will stun them. Once they're stunned, if you hit them with your sword, they're guaranteed to drop a bomb. So it was an old tip in Nintendo Power that basically talked about that. Talked about how you can defeat 3 Dodongos with 2 bombs. So you just take out the first one with that trick. You get 4 bombs because the bomb pickup, and then use the remaining 4 bombs to defeat the remaining of the Dodongos. So it's a little trap room here where we are forced to go north because of that push block little mini puzzle, and we have to go into this room with all these enemies, defeat them all to open up the door. So we're going to be coming into this room a little bit later when we're going to get the bomb bag. So now while we're here, we might as well just take out as many as we can, because otherwise it'll be a little easier to go through that little mini passageway in the middle there with less enemies sniping at us. Push the block. Now we can head over this way. And yeah, I misspoke earlier what I said about getting the item. Going to the right to get the item. Mainly, we'll be going to get the item through this room here. But let's pick up we'll go get the bomb bag upgrade. We did have to go, though, to the right, though, to pick up a key to get everything that we need in this dungeon, so. And, I was saying, we're gonna see how the hack creator loves his little Dodongo enemies. I stunned one there without feeding it the first bomb. It is possible to do that. Basically, you lay a bomb down, and if they walk into the smoke, I guess they kind of suck up the smoke as they're walking in there. Deadly secondhand smoke stuns them. So these rooms are so annoying because you got so much slowdown, and they're mainly just rooms to waste time, it seems like, because these enemies are really so simple to deal with. They're not really a hazard. They don't offer a challenge, so you mainly just going through the motions to take them out and wasting time. So, not a fan of these Dodongo enemies, especially when they're overused like this. We'll see a lot of the overuse in the second quest. And they're one of the few mini bosses in the game that will actually respawn. So if we come back to that room a little later, yeah, they can respawn. So, not fun. Lay down the bomb, then run through the trap. With these big groups of Gorias there, we can drop a bomb and hit a whole bunch of them, damage them a whole bunch at once. We took a whole bunch of damage, but yeah, good thing the blue Gorias tend to drop a lot of hearts. So we managed to fill up our hearts even though we took a few damage there. I've created a larger bomb sack, and we'll take it. And that is, now we have maxed out bombs, 24. So, we're getting a lot of good uses out of the bombs. Not as much as we did back at the beginning of the game when we were so under-equipped and still had to deal with tough enemies, but they're still very useful for dealing with large hordes of enemies and the Wizrobes. So, and we're gonna head back to this room. I left one fairy alive purposely because I knew I'd want to push this block here. So rather than have all the fairies respawn, we just left one around. So when we did come back to that room, knowing we'd have to defeat all the enemies, there was only one there. I remember the first time I played the original Legend of Zelda game, my brother borrowed it off a friend from school, and we were playing his file, his friend's file, and we were in level 5, and we couldn't figure out how to push the block to get to the staircases, and we didn't know you had to defeat all the enemies, so we were like, we don't want to fight all these dog nuts, they're really tough. We just thought maybe there was you can only have a certain amount of blocks per quest to push, so we tried to redo level 1 without pushing the block in there. So it was a time when the internet didn't exist to answer your questions. There was no game FAQs. You had to rely on a friend telling you what to do, or Nintendo Power. And there was no guarantee that the question you had, somebody else might not have had to write into Nintendo Power. So we're heading over this way, and this is now where we're going to be picking up the item. But we also want to head down to the south here to pick up the map. So normally we get the map pretty early in the dungeons for the most part. But this one we're pretty much almost through the entire dungeon. Probably about maybe 75-80% way through the dungeon before we're picking up the map. So take out that final moblin. Push this block here. Yep, all you need to do is defeat all the enemies. And we pick up the book, which now adds a fire attack to our magic wand. Anything that the spell hits will now like kind of burst into flames, which is really good against the landmolas, the worms that usually start appearing in level 9. Because we'll shoot them, hit them with the flame, and they'll kind of just hang out in the flame, and they'll be taking contact damage with the flame. So it's a pretty good weapon against them. We already defeated all those guys, so no use to defeat them again. And let's head on back to the room that was once occupied by the hungry moblin. Because we already gave him the meat that he wanted, the room is now open, and we can proceed to the north and get our 7th Tetrarch Fairy. Gotta go through this little trap room again, so I like it. I know it's kind of annoying to go through the trap room again, but I do like it when dungeons are designed that kind of force you, I guess, to go into rooms multiple times. It kind of makes the dungeon feel bigger without necessarily being bigger. So, even though we only had 2 rooms there, they kind of functioned as 4 because they forced us to go through them twice. So, same with these rooms here. We can only go through them left and right one way, and then you had to go through them north and south a different way. So, there's our heart standing out there wide open, but can't get it just yet. We're gonna have to go around a little bit. So the dungeon is almost full. Let's show off what this wand can do. See when it stops, whether it's hitting a wall or an enemy. It has that little flame, and sometimes the enemy can get stuck in the flame. And here's that money or your life thing. Head down south here. We can finally get these bombs that we saw when we passed through this room twice before. Now we just have this north little section here to take care of. So, these are mold worms, another type of worm, but not the landmola worms that I talked about using the rod on. So we got a little mini boss here popping up. I didn't even bother to use my bombs. Yeah, I had so much life. So we have to go over to the right here. You might be in a hurry to get that heart, but we need a key to open the door to the right of the heart to get to the Tetrarch Fairy. So we're gonna have to go through here and deal with a second dig dogger to pick up the key. Now we can go pick up our 15th heart, our 11th heart container, and then pick up our 7th Tetrarch Fairy. And luckily we know exactly where the 8th one is going to be. In the thanks to the clue that Zelda gave us earlier, it'll be in the Dark Maze of Ice. It caught me just moments ago. There's our completed map. Looks like a little cross, sort of. A stubby-armed cross. And there is our Tetrarch Fairy. And now it's time for us to head back to that Maze of Dark, and that's what we're going to pick up in our next episode, minions. Take care, have a good day. Bye.